Filming here at Racing Rant second headquarters, otherwise known as the Shire.
We're back.
God's country we're in, Dicko.
The birthplace of modern Australia.
That's true. Forby Sutherland, first white man to die in Australia.
Yeah?
Named after me.
It's good to be home.
Good to be home. And actually, I know we're only at Pakenham, but they're fairly juicy fields, I think. So
Juicy-ish fields.
We found some angles here.
It is a little bit of a piss take on behalf of Victorian Racing to have a Saturday meeting at a random track that not many of us know a lot about, like Gordo and I maybe, but let alone everyone else punting at home.
Yeah. How are we thinking the track might play? Rail in true?
I'd say similar to the Valley. So no disadvantage being forward, potentially leaderish, but really watch early and adjust as we go.
Yeah, I think
because it's not a track where we're familiar with or are confident in.
Yeah, I mean, Dicko and I watched all the replays of the last meeting at Pakenham with Rail True.
With Rail True on grass.
Yeah, and we sort of think, obviously it's an advantage to be in the vanguard, but you've got to realise that in that particular quality of race, being in the vanguard is always advantageous.
Yeah, so there's a B grade meeting on Oaks Day, was it?
Yeah.
So, take what you will.
Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so first race, over 1,000 metres. This is very interesting, particularly with the favourite. So we've got number 1, Wise Hero, $1.80 favourite. We've got number 4, Invincible Owl, $15. We've got number 2, Liberty Song, $8.50. We've got number 10, Punta Roma, $16. What are we saying here, Dicko?
I think 9 and 1 can cross and lead. Then we've got sort of 8, 3, 5, 7, 10, 11. I'm not keen on that favourite at that price. I have a feeling it might be scratched. Hoping it is. Quite keen to back Liberty Song each way.
I think if we're against the odds-on favourite, we probably want it to run, don't we? To provide us with value.
I'm not totally against it because I'm worried there might be a huge bias.
So yeah. And it could just be the best horse in the race as well.
Yeah, but God, its prep is a little bit strange.
Well, 1,200 metre win, 1,100 metre win, now back to 1,000 metres, and we've talked about this previously, where 1,000 metre form only works in one distance, and that's 1,000 metre form. So, although we admit that it's probably the best horse in the race, is this the right prep for it?
It gets lead controls. Yeah, it's a bit like icky, and like if a month ago we backed Winkster at $2.
Yep.
Then we want to back this thing as well. It's third up, first ever prep, dropping with that strange prep at $1.80. I'm not going to open my day with that.
Very strange. 7-day backup too, isn't it? So
yeah.
It's all a little bit weird as far as that horse is concerned. So who have you found?
Liberty Song. I'm interested in it each way. I respect the chances of Invincible Owl. And number 10, don't know how we're going to pronounce that one, but Ponta Roma. It's quite a nice trial.
Yep.
But yeah, backing Liberty Song, respecting 4 and 10.
Okay, I'm sort of, I admit that I have to have number 1 on top, but it wouldn't be a bet for me. I'm probably particularly interested in number 4, Invisible Owl. 2 starts back, if you notice, over the 1,000 metres at Flemington, and was given absolutely no opportunity at all.
Wasn't touched, was it?
Wasn't touched, and that was against some serious horses.
Yeah.
That's speedy or biased witness form.
Yeah.
Then it went to 1,300 metres, and it was unsuited because of the distance.
Yeah.
Now,
it looked to peak on its run.
Yes, I don't like horses back in distance, but Jesus, at the odds, $15 seemed like a reasonable play to me.
I think we're sort of around the speedier form again, which we have been last week.
And it was successful as well.
Good to us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What was it? What a shock!
What a shock!
$6 a place.
$6 a place. Is that all you got? I got $8.50 the place, Dicko.
6.
Well, it was a win anyway.
I've been finding them, but not necessarily backing them at the right prices. It's been a little bit painful.
Okay, so that's enough of that race. We'll move on to race 2, which is 1,200 metre open handicap. You got some pace for me there, Diggo?
Yeah, 3 should lead, 4 can cross, and then maybe 2, 6 and 5. It's a little bit messy behind the leader,
Okay.
which makes me keener on the favourite. Because he can sort of get out, control, settle, do what he wants to do. I don't think he's going to be any disadvantage leading.
I know.
And with this messy rabble behind him, I think it really sets up well. The bowler, it's a good horse, but it did nothing last prep. It did nothing first up. I want to see it do something before I touch it.
I'm just looking. First up, bad stats. Second up, bad stats as well. It might be a late preparation horse.
But if you look last prep, it's nothing, just nothing. Whereas the prep before, it was a good horse.
So maybe it's best days are
Yeah,
behind it.
and I'm not seeing any gear changes. It's just like we'll give him one more. You know what I mean? We're not ready yet. There's no intent there from the trainer.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to be against it. It is ridden, got belted. Happy to oppose it. The one I sort of can see bouncing back from coming last start is Nordic Empire. I respect his chances, but I'm happy to just sort of back the favourite. Maybe late I'll look to...
So you're going Nordic Empire off doing absolutely nothing this preparation.
Yeah, I
Must be very long odds.
A little bit of respect for the horse. It maps pretty well. Provided it jumps cleanly, you can sort of hold a spot there in behind the pace.
I'm bit icky here for me because 3 I think could springboard off that last start win. But I'd have to err on the side of SP Profile as far as this is concerned and actually go for number 5, Smart Dart. If you notice, it went round at $4 in the same race that Gallant Harmony went round at $7.50.
Yeah.
And Gallant Harmony got all favours and Smart Dart didn't.
Yep.
So going off a Mark Lambourne Pearl there, I'd probably have Smart Dart on top. And there's just a little smoky here at long odds. Number 7, Bob of the Head. Given no chance at Moonee Valley last start, maybe it can do something, but not much of a betting race for me.
I'd agree, maybe Box Duet 3, 5 and 6, for example.
Won't be playing in the race.
I totally understand and agree with what you're saying about Smart Dart.
SP Profile is just gold.
Yeah. And the weights look pretty well in too.
So we move on to race 3, which is a 1,000 metre race yet again.
50,000.
Benchmark 78. So we're looking for something on the up here, I'd suggest. How's the map looking?
1 and 14 lead, then 10, 7, 12 plus 8. I think it might go forward. Number 8. The one I wanted to find here is number 13, Tango Rock. It's been gelded, which I love. It's always been good to me, that sort of finding a horse I vaguely rated earlier in its prep, or earlier in its career.
Has some form lines there too,
Yeah.
Nudie Rudy.
Yeah, when it's gelded and comes back, I want to be on it. But it's drawn awkwardly. I don't mind wide draws at all, I actually like them, but just the way the map looks to me, you might not sort of find a spot.
Is there a bit of a push from Kent there, the booking of Craig Williams? It's got to show some intent, doesn't it? Yeah.
So, whilst I'm... what price are we getting? It's fat-ish, isn't it?
Fat-ish. What number was it again?
Number 13.
$7.
Yeah, so I'm quite happy to back it each way. I think it'll... If in the first few races they've just led and struggled to run on, I won't be betting.
Yeah.
But I'll be expecting it to run a good race, probably run 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th.
But I mean,
if it looks fair, I'll be really unloading.
But for the guys out there who aren't assessing the track bias during the day, is $7 the right price? You know what I mean? Let's say you are assuming there's going to be a little bit of...
I think $7 is the right price each way if the track's fair. So if that favourite in the first race backs into $1.60, leads and doesn't just dominate, and even if it still wins but they come down the outside at it, I'm really keen.
Okay, well there was a couple of other horses I actually was interested in your opinion on in this race, and that is definitely number 3, Angry G. had the trial, freshen up trial. You know how I'm absolutely obsessed with freshen up trial.
Yep.
But it has been absolute gold lately. And if you knows all the top quality stables are starting to do it, I know that's in Sydney. But
I question the form of its previous prep. Appreciate that it goes well at the trip and it does go well first up. I'd prefer it with more give in the ground.
Okay.
A softer track.
Yeah.
So and rain came a little bit keener.
And the other one I wanted to ask you about was number 14, Dream Food.
Yeah, 14. Yeah, I can see why you like this, and I'm happy to sort of encourage someone to back this each way.
$14 at the moment.
Yeah, flies first up, appreciates the distance, goes well on good tracks. We've got Petite Reward, Ocean Embers form.
Yeah.
At price.
Solid form lines at a decent price. 3 starts over the distance for 1 win and 1 second. The only time it flopped was given absolutely no chance, and that was at Moonee Valley against Petite Reward.
100%. See, and this is why I used to watch the show. Now I'm on it. Is I love that horse, Tango Rock, but it doesn't map ideally. Dream Force, Dream Food will lead. At $14. Caitlin Manning, you know I love her on a leader.
Yeah.
So back each of them each way. Happy days. So we've got what I think is the best horse in the race, which has slight map concerns.
Yep.
And then I've got another horse I really like, but it's going to be leading. So one's at the front,
lightly raced, 7 starts, 2 wins, might have upside,
100%.
off the spell.
It's a great bet.
I think there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that tomorrow, isn't there?
Yeah.
Because, you know what I mean? I think
there's
a lot
of
and weird angles coming from everywhere. I think the play is actually each way betting on things maybe not quite so solid in the market.
Totally agree.
Okay, so we move on to race 4, which is benchmark 78 over 1,400 metres. We have Moss Beat $17. We have Cheeky Babe $4.60. We have Maternal $7. And that's about the ones in the money. How's the map looking?
1 from 7, from 8, then God knows. Cheeky Babe, the obvious, but you got to steer clear of Darren Weir obvious horses in Melbourne. That horse, despite Weir being a freak and it not being able to run a race in Sydney and all of a sudden being a pretty genuine horse down there in Melbourne.
Yeah.
I love seeing it in there, and I love going. It is D off, Alan on, which is a positive, but I'm happy to bet around it. Quite interested in Maternal, number 9.
How do you rate Entrancing as a horse? Like what price would Entrancing run round in this particular race?
About
it'd be solid favourite, wouldn't it?
Shorter than Cheeky Babe.
Really?
I reckon.
Yeah. Okay.
I just, you go broke back in all these favourites.
My question mark is
what it did at like shit races.
No, but the horse has never run over 1,400 metres. That's my problem with it.
Yeah, so we're happy to
oppose it. But it's weird. You know, it's weirding me out. It's weirding me out.
I love like a weird stable swap, but not weird 4th up.
I have to admit that it might be the best horse in the race, but I don't think conditions suit tomorrow, and I'm definitely going to be against it.
I do think this is a very, very low race. And if you like something, go for it. Go hard. It's a 50k race, and Moss Beat comes from a 150k race, where it didn't do a lot, but it's a 150k race.
It matters.
And it's a big price. I could easily encourage someone to back that each way, which I may do myself. And the other one is number 9, Maternal.
I'm just looking at Moss Beat. Like, you know me, I only back horses at the top end of the market. That's how I make my money. And you just don't make money out of 30 starts for 2 wins. But taking that into consideration, we are in Melbourne and this thing is $17. So,
yeah,
you know what I mean? There's a point of difference there, definitely.
And it did SP $51 in that.
Yeah, I know.
Group 3 race.
See, it's hate-filled.
It is Glenn Schofield off and Apprentice on, which could be a positive.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
No, legit.
No, any change, Glenn Schofield on or Glenn Schofield off, is always something where you can see a change of form.
And I would add to that, Glenn off a $51 chance can sometimes be much more of a positive. Because he's not interested.
Me personally, I found number 9, Maternal, on top, which Melbourne people won't be surprised about. I know it's not an ideal preparation, but it did run over the 1533 and then the 1600. It's back to 1400 metres. That's actually where it won its last start.
What track was that at?
Pakenham as well,
Bang.
on the grass,
Yeah.
and that's a Mark Lamborn Pearl that he just gave us on Monday, isn't it? So,
yeah, I agree.
and massive positive jockey change as well. B.E. Thompson to Craig Williams. So I'm interested in number 9.
He does look set for a big day, old Willow, doesn't he? He might sign a few cameras
Well,
tomorrow.
he's definitely the best jockey there tomorrow. Jesus. You know, because I mean, a few of the other guys are out of the way, aren't they?
Who we got there? I'm a big fan of Bo Mertens.
Oh, okay. I'm a big fan of Mark Zara, but
And Ben Allen.
Okay, we'll move on to race 5, which is 1400 metre benchmark 70. Geez, lots of angles to take this one. We've got Urban Ruler $8.50, Gratwick $8, Fuse. I think Fuse is about a $10 shot. Green Patina $7.50, Snitson $8. Couple of lightly raced things there that are outside the market. Number 10 Oak Door $6.50. Number 11 Rock and Roller $13. How's the map looking?
I think 7 will lead 12, then 1, 9, then possibly 4 and 10. It's quite hard to map this race, and therefore it's hard for me to bet into it. I think you can take a line through the Gratwick and Green Patina race.
Yep.
That looked good enough for this to me, and they're both, I think, probably 2 points over what they should be and what they will be.
Yep.
Happy enough to either back them both just straight or a little bit each way. But if you're betting $1,000 on Saturday, I'd be putting 50 of it on this race. I wouldn't be overspending into this race. There's a lot of angles.
5% of your bank on this race. Well, I think
I think
you're marginally.
You're 5% of your day bank. Not overall. Just like
You know, we
if you're watching
can
the show,
say no bet, Dico.
Yeah, but I know the guys watching it. They want to bet.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, go to the portal, punch in, see what the fixed odds are. Each way, if you're getting $2 plus, take it. You go to hit 50, I'd halve that.
Yeah, okay.
It's a tricky race, and I wouldn't be surprised if something come out of nowhere and won.
Well, look, Snitson is a lightly race thing.
I won't be
betting. Did actually win quite nicely last start, and actually still has a positive jockey change in Mullion to Craig Williams. Not the one I actually found on top. I found a $13 shot on top, which is Rock and Roll Rocky. Going off SP. And if you've noticed in Sydney, a lot of the times the horses we've found off really good trials have not won their first start back, but they've won next start. Yeah. So I'm going off that. This thing trialled fantastically twice.
Yeah.
It's lightly raced, 4 starts for 1 win. We can maybe half forgive it last start. And has an SP over number 14, which is Madame Mouton.
Yeah, and that's the whole point though. So you're taking SPs on a different form line. That's my point. He's got a completely different view on this race. And if another guy was here sitting here, he'd probably find 2 others.
That's the beautiful thing about racing, isn't it? That's why we get a prize.
Yeah. I just think this race is a scary, scary race.
Okay, and moving on to race 6.
Do
we want to have a break?
Pushing through?
No, let's come back for the quaddie legs. We'll be back in a sec. And actually, our best bets of the day all come up in the last 4 races, which is quite interesting.
I'm betting right up in race 6. I'm betting right up.
We'll be back.
Double figures.